Peace, family. Welcome to a lunch and learn with Crown Elements. My name is Jocelyn Renee. You can think of me as your digital loctician. I'm also the founder of Crown Elements hair care line exclusively formulated for locks. I am striving to have these conversations about topics that are not often discussed in the lock community. Today, in particular, it is scalp health. Scalp health is one of the things that is often left out of the conversation when it comes to locks. Um, Typically, we're talking about styling and accessories and when can I put jewelry in my hair? Like, there's rarely any time where we're talking about um, scalp care. And if there's one thing that I know you believe in, and I'm a firm believer in, it is that healthy locks grow from a healthy scalp. Press the one if you believe that. Healthy locks grow from a healthy scalp. I believe that is 1,000% true. Like, if your scalp is not healthy, if your scalp is inflamed, if your scalp is irritated, your locks are not going to be happy. They'll be thinning, they'll be breaking, they'll be slow growing. And so making sure that we can prioritize the scalp health is going to give you the best locks, the healthiest locks. And then Crown Element products are just the icing on the cake. Okay. So it starts with you. So with our lunch and learn segment, it's not going to be long. It's going to be real quick, straight to the point. Today, we're talking about the best ways to protect your scalp and what that looks like if you have locks. And this conversation will apply to sister locks, micro locks, traditional locks, thick locks, freeform locks, uh, instant locks. Like, we have a lot of different lock categories out here, but this applies for them all because, again, it is focused on the scalp. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. Two things that I want you to know when it comes to your scalp health. One is that your hands are not your hair's friend. I know, you got hand in your hair syndrome and you find yourself touching your scalp or touching your locks. Your scalp is not happy about it. I know it feels good, it feels nice, or it's just subconscious and you do it, you don't even recognize it. But your hands and your scalp and your hair, they not friends for real. One of the things I learned in cosmetology school that stuck with me is that the pH that's on your skin, like your hands, is different from the pH of your hair. And your hair is made up of bonds, like it's held together by 3 bonds, one of which is easily broken by just touching your hair. So every time you touch your hair, you weaken your hair. Did you know that? Press a 2 if you knew that. Press a 2 if you knew that every time you touched your hair, you weakened it. Not even being intentional about trying to damage or weaken your hair. Press a 2 if you knew that. If you did know that, press a 3. Like, I didn't even know. Every time I was touching my hair, I didn't even know I was weakening it. That for me was a game changer. I started cosmetology school when I had my second set of locks. So it was 9 years ago, 10 years ago. And my mind was blown. At that time, I definitely had hand in my hair syndrome. I found myself touching my locks, playing with my locks all the time. And thinking back on it, reflecting on it, there was like points in my locks that were broken or weaker. And I'm like, dang, have I been doing that this whole time? Not to say that's why the only reason why your locks can be weak, but it's usually a direct result of it. So first tip, first thing is you got to keep your hands out of your hair. I know you got to tell a friend, hold you accountable. If they see you touching your hair, slap your hand. Try your best to just notice every time your hand goes up to like say like, I'm touching my hair or I'm touching my scalp or I'm putting food in my mouth. Like, identify why you're raising your hand. All right. But aside from that, gloves, y'all. Get you some gloves. You'll see in a lot of the videos that I post on my personal channel, Digital Loctician, that I'm using gloves. I love using gloves to wash my hair. to just make sure I'm cleansing my scalp. If you don't have a barrier on your hands, like an oil, put on gloves to just, make sure you're not affecting that bond of your hair, weakening your hair. Okay. The second thing, y'all, okay, and this is really why we're here. This is really why we're here when it comes to scalp health, is the scratching. In the chats, in the comments, press a 4 if you find yourself scratching your scalp with, random things like pens, markers, the end of your comb. Like, do you ever find yourself scratching your scalp randomly with things in your space? Or maybe you find yourself scratching your scalp with your fingernails. Press a 4 if you scratch your scalp with your fingernails or just random objects laying around close to you. The reason why I asked you this, and this is no judgment zone, okay? We're all family here. With your nails, with the other objects, things on your scalp, they end up causing what are known as micro tears at the roots, okay? What that means is that the little teeny hairs, the new hairs that are growing, just budding out of your scalp, they're going to disconnect from your locks. And sometimes we have a concern with our locks thinning, but the reality is we are disconnecting the hair from our roots with our locks. So it appears that it's thinning. This lock is being crazy over here. So how you can prevent that? Instead of using random objects, I know, it feels good. Instead of using your nails, you want to specifically get a tool, utilize a tool. Like, these things were made for a reason. Get a tool to scratch your scalp. That's going to minimize the micro tears at the roots, okay? One of our best friends, this little comb right here, because it is curved so it can go with your head. You just go in and it curves at the head. Ooh. And what's beautiful about it is that it can get right under the base of your locks, the base of your style. Like, this feels good, actually. Without disrupting that locking process. So for starter locks, for new locks, for locks that are in a style, you want to have a tool like the Scalp Revitalizer to scratch your scalp. So that way you minimize the keratin with your fingernails, ripping out your hair. That pen, I don't got a pen near me, but that pen pulling up them hairs, okay? You want to utilize a tool that is going to get you the relief, but not affect your roots and your locks, okay? So ways in which you can protect your scalp at home, simple. Get gloves, right? Get gloves instead of directly touching your hair, directly touching your roots, and utilize a tool for scratching. So we're going to keep our hands, hand in your hair syndrome. Got to stop. All right, that stops today. Let me get a 6 in the chat if you're going to stop with the hand in the hair syndrome today. It ends today. Kelly says, I'm telling you, I always have hand in my hair and scratch frequently. My hair didn't start out growing outside the lock, but it does now, and it's thinning. I'm 2 years plus in. Yeah, because your hands and your hair, they are not friends, okay? They don't get along. They're like frenemies. It's like, it feels good kind of when I'm around you, but every time the hands leave out the hair, it's a problem. Something happened. So hands and hair, they are not friends. 2 simple things that you can do at home. Wear some gloves or have some type of barrier like the main radiance oil, which is really light, on your hands before touching your hair, touching your roots, and utilize a tool for scratching, not your hands. Listen, put it into a bag, a gold bag or something. Keep it in your purse. I keep one in my purse, keep one in the car, try to keep one in my desk if my husband doesn't take it from me, okay? This thing is essential, all right? You can find the Scalp Revitalizer at crownelements.com. Of course, if you enter the code CULTIVATE at checkout, you get a little gift from me to you. And the gloves. Those are things, just have some gloves around you, okay? If you have to touch your hair, at least do it with intention. Kelly says these are lethal weapons here, right? But I hope that helps. Okay. Now I see the sixes. We are keeping our hands out of our hair. We're curing the hand and hair syndrome. All right. It starts today. Thank you so much for tuning in for this quick lunch and learn. Make sure you're drinking your water. Where we at? I'm at 1 o'clock. Where y'all at with your water? All right. Make sure you're drinking your water, prioritizing your wellness, taking a quick walk today. All right. All things that'll help you cultivate the healthiest set of locks possible. Okay. If you're not part of our Crown Elements VIP club, make sure you check the description box on YouTube, and the link will be there. And for Instagram, just head over to crownelements.com, and the VIP club is right on the first page. The code for you to get your Scalp Revitalizer is CULTIVATE, CULIVATE. I missed the T in there. Cult, CULTIVATE, cultivate. You call me slipping, but that's the code. Enter it at checkout. And as always, I'm wishing you peace, love, and good vibes. Make sure you are here next week for our lunch and learn. Okay? Peace.